What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. And today I'm finally back for real this time. I know in my last episode I've been saying that I would be back and that I would be back to being consistent with uploads and stuff like that. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. These past few months, y'all seen in my last episode, I got a new girlfriend now. And basically, it's been kind of hard balancing. And this isn't just about her, but it's just been hard balancing doing the podcast with everything else that I'm doing. I'm in this new relationship. I don't know if I said it before on the podcast, but I joined this local group, that's trying to build something out here with different creatives and stuff like that called the Camden Comedy Collective. I'm a big part in that, especially since, y'all know my aspiration is to become a film director. So I've been working with, them on making this dramedy series that will be coming out on YouTube and social media and stuff like that. So look out for that. Of course, I'm gonna give you guys updates on that. But also recently I started working on a new album. I know I said I was done with music, but it's something in me just kind of, I kind of feel ready to release another album, especially since when I make music, I use that as a journal to talk about my personal thoughts on stuff and things like that. I know I talk a lot about my personal thoughts on here and some of my other videos, but I don't know, music is a different form of expression for me. So yeah. I've been doing that. I'm still working on the next short film. So I just got a lot going on and a lot of other things distracting me, even work. I'm trying to find a new job right now. So it's just a lot has been going on these past few months and it's kind of taken my time away from the podcast, but I am going to try to stay as consistent as possible this time around, especially since, like I've already said before, I think I'm going to have to focus more on audio only episodes. Not to say that you guys won't see my beautiful little face anytime soon. Of course, whenever I do have time to set up the camera and record, of course I'm gonna do that, but for the most part, you guys should probably start getting used to seeing audio only episodes, and I'm gonna try to make them more interesting. I'm not just gonna have one static photo throughout the whole episode. I'm gonna add I don't know, some little effect, try to make the pictures look cool. And whenever I change topics, I'll start adding pictures associated with that topic. So I'm gonna try to make the audio episodes a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, but for the most part, audio episodes are just meant to just be listened to. They're not really meant to be watched. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. I'm just saying that I'm gonna try to make it more aesthetically pleasing if you do want to look at it. So that's basically covering where I've been these past few months and why I haven't been uploading like that. Another thing is I'm not going to stop my Blu-ray collections. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to do one big video with all the movies that I've collected these past few months. I'm not going to bombard y'all like that. I am going to slowly separate each month. So I'll try to equal out how many movies that I've gotten, but I'm going to try to equal it out. And I'm going to, say I really got 20 movies in the last month. I'm going to try to split it between 4 or 5 videos of 4 or 5 movies, just so that y'all are still seeing newer movies in my collection. But at the same time, I'm not bombarding y'all with constant, a lot of movies at one time. And then my last update now, guys, I usually, when I do my podcast, I upload onto YouTube, of course, because this is my main place that I upload the podcast. No matter where it goes, it'll always be on YouTube. So YouTube is the main place that I upload the podcast. And I also put out the podcast on streaming services, but I use Spotify for podcasters to take care of that. So Apple Music, or not Apple Music, but Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere that you get your podcasts, I use Spotify for podcasters. But I also upload to that website called Rumble, And I remember like Rumble was supposed to be a big thing. Like a lot of YouTubers, especially controversial ones, was using Rumble as like another outlet for their content. Like about like 2-3 years ago, like around the time I started this podcast, like Rumble was starting to be talked about a lot. But I'm sorry, like Rumble, I do have some viewers. Like I look at my analytics and I see that there is viewers there, but I can't focus on Rumble anymore. Trying to upload to 3 websites is, kind of, it gets too much sometimes, especially when with Rumble, out of all the sites that I upload to, it's the one that I get the least traction. So this will be my last episode on Rumble. So if you are a listener of mine, like an avid listener of mine, and you mostly use Rumble to listen to me, I encourage you that after this episode, definitely go sub to my YouTube or go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go to one of those services and follow my podcast there, because Rumble is just not a place I'm going to keep uploading to, if I'm going to be honest. Like I said, I started uploading there like years ago because I thought it was going to be bigger, but it's not catching on, and there's no point to just, uploading on a website that's not really catching on, especially when, to be honest, the most of the people that take up Rumble, I don't agree with their viewpoints, and nor do I want to be associated with that. So, if you feel like that's me drawing a line in the sand, then I guess so. But like, yeah, Rumble is just like, a place that I'm not going to upload to anymore. So like I said, if you love my content, if you love, what I do on this podcast, and you want to see more, because, I do want to do more. I do want to keep doing the Blu-ray collections, and I want to, I always say this, but I do want to do vlogs. It's just, I'm someone that likes to live in the moment. So like sometimes it's hard for me to do vlogs, but I would like to do it, especially with me working with, this media group. Like I definitely would love to put some behind the scenes stuff on here for y'all. So, I know I just bombarded y'all with a lot of updates, but like, I had to catch y'all up. It's been a while. But I don't have too much to really talk about this week besides those updates. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, and of course it's the title of this video or this episode, and that is, we have finally reached our conclusion, hopefully, for this Kendrick and Drake situation. So as we all know, and I'm not going to go too into details. If y'all want like full on details, there's a bunch of people on YouTube giving the backstories and all of that. I like to talk to y'all as if y'all already know what's going on. But a quick recap, I guess, is we know the crazy battle between Kendrick and Drake last year. Not Like Us came out, and Drake took it to UMG and wanted to sue them, claiming that they released the song knowing that Kendrick was going to put defamatory things in there. He was trying to call out like botting streams and stuff like that, and he was trying to make this lawsuit seem like it was him standing up for his fellow artists, but really at the end of the day, he was just salty that he lost, or the public opinion is that he lost the rap battle. And recently, when I don't even think it went to trial fully yet. I just think the judge just kind of threw it out and said that the whole Not Like Us is basically just Kendrick's opinion. And he was saying that, and the judge said that the song is protected under Kendrick's opinion, like nothing in the song could be seen as fact. And then also when you look at it in the context of a rap battle, it's like you guys were both clearly like trying to make the other seem like a horrible person. So of course this just comes off more opinionated than factual. And I don't really care to talk about like the suit altogether. I'm talking about this because I've been saying this for a while now. I'm sick of talking about this Kendrick and Drake battle, but I know it's like one of the biggest things in hip hop, and it's like a never ending story, especially when Drake keeps dragging it. And I can't sit here and say that Kendrick is still dragging it. Like after the Super Bowl, I feel like Kendrick really calmed it down. And I even said in the episode after the Super Bowl, I even said like, I said something like, I don't think Kendrick is going to keep, bringing it up after this point. Like, I feel like he used the Super Bowl thing as a statement, like, you can't silence me. But after that, I don't see any reason for him to keep bringing it up. But it's like with Drake, it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm really looking forward to the Iceman album, but it's really feeling like you're basing your whole rollout of this album around the fact that, like, you're kind of salty that you lost, when truth be told, we all need to move on from this. Not even just Kendrick and Drake, but we all need to move on from this. Like, we can look back at it in a way like, oh, you know, that was a cool time and stuff like that, but like, the way that you could talk about something completely unrelated to Drake about Kendrick, people will still bring up that battle. You could talk about something completely unrelated to Drake and that battle. I mean, something completely unrelated to Kendrick about Drake, and the battle will come up. It's like, it's time we move on, and this lawsuit is basically just a sign that it's time to move on. Like, our, you know, the case being dismissed is, it's basically time to move on from this. That's just honestly my 2 cents on it. I already checked out of and there's other beefs that at this point seems to be getting more crazier. I know recently, if I was still doing the podcast at the time, I definitely would have reviewed Cardi B's album, which I guess I can speak on real quick. I loved Cardi B's album, Am I the Drama? I wouldn't say it's my favorite album of the year so far. I can't lie. Justin Bieber's Swag won. I'm not too big of a fan of Swag 2, but Swag 1, y'all know my episode on that. Like, I loved the Swag album. That's probably still my favorite of the year. But Am I the Drama is definitely up there. It's definitely up there. Other albums that I say I love this year, the Clips album, Cardi B's, and there's a new artist named J Don, or he's not really new, but like, this is his first like actual project. J Don, he released a mixtape, literally, of me recording this. He released the tape yesterday, and like, yeah, if you're looking for that nostalgic, like, old school R&B type sound, definitely listen to J Don's mixtape. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Pretty much this whole Kendrick and Drake thing, it's time for this, you know, to calm down. It's time for, you know, us to move on. And I know realistically, people are going to tell me like, we can never move on because it's like one of the biggest battles ever, and probably arguably the biggest battle ever. But like, you know, truth be told, I'm just kind of checked out of it. So basically, take this from me, I'm personally done with talking about this battle after that. I know I said that before, but like, now that the case is actually done, or maybe Drake might try to do something else, but honestly, I can't see this going any further than this. At least if he's trying to save himself any more embarrassment, I can't see it going any further than this. So for me, this is the last that I am talking about this Kendrick and Drake battle. Even if I have guests on and they talk about it, I'm going to try to sit there and be quiet as much as possible, because like, I'm just kind of done with it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to let y'all know that I am back. I did want to put in my last 2 cents about this Kendrick and Drake battle, and yeah, just keep expecting more episodes out of me, but also be expecting that they are going to be audio only episodes, not mostly, but expect that some of them will be. And like I said before, if you listen to me on Rumble, definitely, you know, check out my YouTube or check out my podcast on like streaming services for podcasts, because yeah, I won't be uploading on Rumble after this episode. So yeah. With all this being said, Tevin Jameer signing out. I'll catch y'all next week on the next one. Peace.